What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Ranger Bronco Base Camp Live Wednesday night here at 9 p.m. Eastern. How are you? A little loud for you there,
can't
Gavin?
hear.
Gavin can't hear tonight.
It's just my headphones.
Gavin's
on.
having some Are you having technical problems? You got it?
It's just my headphones.
All right. Move the mic a little bit closer. Can you hear me now? Need the FM DJ voice. Makes it sound clear. Hey, folks, we have a good show tonight. I'll say hello to everyone once you get in here. We have a very good show tonight. We're going to talk about what we did last weekend. Gavin's going to get his opinion in here about Firehouse Vintage Vehicles. Pretty cool place, by the way, if you haven't never been and checked it out. Let me know if you can hear me. All righty, because we're always moving stuff around in the old studio. We're starting to get the lighting right. Now, if we can get the audio, man, come on, give it to me. Be good shape. So we're having a great week. I haven't got a chance to upload a lot of videos right now because we have a major expansion going underway at work. And let's just say candle at three ends at the same time burning, right? So we're hustling, get some stuff done. But I do have some vehicle reviews. So I won't say cars and trucks, have some very good reviews, how I do things. Technical with the creature comforts and all that cool stuff. That's coming up. I have some pictures for you tonight from our weekend in Statesville, North Carolina. We had a blast down at Firehouse Vintage. I'm really going to talk about this stuff there. You know, if I don't, unlike some people here on YouTube, if I don't like someone, I don't just badmouth them. I just don't talk about it. But if you really hear me talk about it, you'll know that we genuinely like the place or like the product or whatever. And let me just tell you, Firehouse Vintage is the place to go if you have any year Bronco, but let's say early stuff. Let's say second gen is awesome. They have a first gen there as well, and also trucks. One of the few places that I know that actually repairs, modifies, and rebuilds trucks like the F-100s, the high, what they call the high boy. The Ford had a heavy duty like F-250 that came out. Really cool stuff. We'll get into that, but let's say hello. Nick, what is going on? Broncos 78 Adventures. What's happening? Nice seeing you there again as well. Jonathan Falls, sound good. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I appreciate you as usual. Destination Bigfoot Bronco. Yeah, that's let's see, just finished washing up the Bigfoot OBX. Yeah, that's a nice ride you've got there. I can't wait to do a proper review, detailed walk around of it. You and I'll set that up if that's all right with you, and I'll get some specs. And like I said, I love doing the reviews. I am not going to travel hours and hours and hours to walk around and take pictures of a vehicle. We're going to get into it, how it works, why it works that way, and some of the cool features. And that's what we do. I'm working on a really cool story on the new Ford Ranger. Kind of new, right? So if you think about it, the Ranger was just announced last week. And part of what we're bringing into the fold here is the fact that there's going to be a lot of people with the Ranger Raptors hanging out with us, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Ranger Raptor, Gavin?
I think it's pretty cool. It looks like if you got the Raptor and you just shrunk it down. That's what I think it looks
because
like.
The grill, right? So you have the grill in the front. You know why the grill is designed that way, by the way?
Yeah, because it just resembles.
It's functional. What's the function? What did we talk about on Andrea's Bronco Raptor? The reason why the holes in that are so big.
Oh, because the air intake?
That's right. Induction and cooling, right? So they're carrying that across because it's a performance grill. It's not just there for looks. Great big Ford script on the front. Sure, it doesn't say Ranger. It doesn't say Bronco, whichever trim that you're working with. Able to get really big air openings in that. We'll talk about that more in detail. But the reason why the Ranger is so cool, and the Ranger Raptor especially, is because I see a lot of people, the overlanding, people, regular off-roaders. You need a work truck, you want an off-road truck. Now you have both. I do still think a 5% chance Ford will still one day build a Bronco truck. I do still think it's in the cards. I really do. It's part of the branding, and we'll get into that as well tonight. But let's go ahead and say hello to the last few people pulling in here to the chat. Ryan Hemming, what is going on? Hey, I want to talk about the I don't know if I'm the only person going to predict this, but I'll definitely be one of the few. I'm not going with common whatever logic here on YouTube. Let's see. Let's go back to watch out destination Bigfoot Bronco. He will also take an oil sample and send it for oil analysis. Now, Tim, come on, man. I need that shirt. That's my saying, right? No, I'm not going to do that. We don't do that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ryan Hemming said, crew, I need some advice. I'm being offered a deal that is hard to refuse for my Bronco Everglades. I love the Bronco and can use the profit, put it towards another. She is offering cash. All right. Well, so there's two ways to look at this, right, Gavin? Mm-hmm. So in the world of profit, it's great. It's great to be able to buy a vehicle and turn around and sell it and make a few bucks on it. Now, you have to consider what's the profit versus how much you like the Bronco. I'll tell you right now, the blue Bronco is not for sale, regardless of the price. And I do say that with seriousness because it's promised to Gavin. So that's Gavin's first vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. It's actually his vehicle. I just get to drive it. So depending on what kind of value it has to you, if it's just another vehicle, you like it, but you could do without it for a while until you order another one. And we're going to talk about the Everglades tonight. I know right now you can't order one, at least as of a few days ago. I would say this: there's going to be an increase in with inflation, right? The MSRP is going to go up. I don't know if you work at a dealer, have friends at a dealership. Can you get it at sticker MSRP? And if you could, if they offer the Everglades again in 24, which I have a suspicion they will. I think it's a constraint issue why it's off the radar right now. I don't think it's gone forever. I know the take rate wasn't that great, and everybody has the inside, and I know all of that. But I also know that Ford invested quite a bit in the Everglades, and I don't think it's gone yet. I think it's taken a short time off. Maybe it was too early. It's going to come back. I think that's when your footrest is hitting the table, buddy. By the way, Gavin, what do you think? Everglades, is it gone forever or just temporarily?
Temporarily.
Why do you think that? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Because a lot of people like it. A lot of people dislike it. It's just the thing that they take away and they lose a weapon in their arsenal. Well,
there's going to be multiple Bronco trims coming out. I just don't think it's done yet. I think, obviously the Heritage may stick around. The Heritage Limited's not. It's in the name Limited, right? The Raptor, I believe, is that's in relation to total numbers of Broncos. It's going to be that low production, but each year. So that's going to be here for a while. I would say, I can't say how long, but I would say it's safe to say it'll always be that extra Bronco trim. There may be some other trims going away to make place for new trims. Ford said that they want to look at adding more trims, right? I can hear that. They want to add more trims, right, Gavin? We talked about that. But that doesn't say that they're going to keep the trims they have and keep stacking them, right? What was the idea the other day? That Ford gets rid of a few trims to make way for, they get rid of a few existing to make way for new, right?
Okay. I have a few propositions.
What you got? There you go, speaking.
So I think this will be controversy for some people, but Black Diamond, you don't see a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people have them. It's just, and they'll be more appreciated when Ford takes them away, because that's just like a Choco.
You think the value is going to go up if they drop it?
Yeah, like Choco Tacos. You bought them once in a while, but when when they took them away, you're like, I
So you went full on dessert right there with Choco Tacos.
You know, I'm in that mood right now.
Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
It's a little late for all that. You're
Yeah.
tired. I hate we have to do this live stream so late. We either get other live streams on top of ours. We've had to modify our schedule. We get it. We moved to Wednesday. It's on us. We had Sunday night, but we just never make it here. But anyway, what you were saying, if they get rid of the Black Diamond, it's going to raise the value?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Like a lot of other things. If a car brand, like the Bronco, you know?
Yeah.
When they took it away, when they discontinued it, values went up.
Well, let me try to answer.
And not so much back then, but yeah.
Hey, Ryan, I want to try to answer this the best way I can. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice at all. I don't know your situation, don't want to know. But let me just say this. There is no amount of money that could buy, and I do say that, and trust me, I deal with it every day. Every house, including the one I live in, is for sale for the right price. But vehicles are concerned. You know, there's so much that Gavin was, what were you in 2020, 8 years old? When the launch, July 13th, 2020.
Okay, 2020 was 3 years.
Yeah, you're 8 years old.
8 years old, yeah.
So Gavin was 8 years old, and we were excited. We watched this together.
I was 9 or 8.
And we reserved 2 Broncos, and you know the story, right? So I would say that to us, there's more value in there. Now, your situation may be different, but I would say this. Unless you know you could get the Bronco that you really like, if you want another one, and you could get it in the next few months, and you could still make money based on what you could sell yours for and what you could get another new one. Maybe you don't really like the color. Maybe there's something about it you don't like. Maybe you want another trim. If that's the case, you got to do what's best for you. But I'm just telling you, I could not see going without the Bronco. As a matter of fact, I got the itch today to add another one to the company because it's not going to happen right now, but you know,
a Raptor to the company.
Well, I couldn't explain that one.
Add moms to the insurance companies. Like, why do you have a $180,000 vehicle off-road built for Baja racing on your company?
Hey, look at this comment here. Sorry to cut you off. Nick said, Ryan, don't sell it.
Oh, yeah.
Destination Bigfoot. I'd hold on to it. I know, right? Let's see. Bronco 78 Adventures. The Everglades is now a rare trim. Exactly. Bronco 78 and the color. So if you have the desert sand, then it's really rare, right? Because that wasn't.
I told you to get one.
Yeah, well, you told me to get one.
I love the Everglades. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
I wish we got one.
Yeah, and Nick said, Ryan, you'll regret selling it.
I wish we got that instead of mom's, or that we could trade it.
And Ryan, I mean, you got to do what's best for you. You know, at the end of the day, you know what you like. I've had a lot of people, they try to tell me, like what you should do, or like, based on their situation, their financial situation, their likes, that's why I can't give you advice. There's a thing in business where we coach people, and coaching is not telling someone, it's asking the questions that you answer and that you ultimately answer your own question. That's the magic of coaching. Well, probably here is I would write down on a piece of paper on one column, pros to selling it, cons to selling it, and air it out, read it, decide. And if it's still something you want to sell, then you got to do what's good for you. So, Bob Masters, what is going on? Hello to you as well. Ford Video Guy, what is up? What is up? How are you? Oh, let's see what you got here. Mobile said, it's just an Everglades. Make that money. I hear you. Well, that's one way of looking at it, Mo. Michael Cooper, what's going on, my friend?
You do what you want to do. If you want to sell it, you sell it. If you want to keep it, you keep it. That's all up to you.
Yeah. Jonathan Falls said, Ryan, you might make a profit. Where are you going, dude?
Oh, it is so hot up here.
Huh? You want to turn the AC on? or down. Ryan, you may make a profit, but how much will you make? How much will a new one cost you? And that's that's another one. It's a mass-produced Ford. It's not valuable. Mobile, I'll disagree with that. I agree with you, like on most trims, but the Everglades, at least right now, we don't know for sure it's coming back. I think it will, but what if it doesn't? It's very rare in the future because, well, let's face it, the reason why Bronco Raptors go for so much over MSRP, limited production. So many people want them, and that's where we're at. So I agree with you 99% of the time, but not this time. I do understand where you're coming from, though. Jonathan Falls, unless you like a different trim or like the Raptor. Yeah, too bad you couldn't make enough money on that to then turn around and invest it into a Raptor, which would be cool. Bronco 78. So I have a theory on this. The Oats is on its way. I believe for a fact it'll be one of the trims that Ford replaces. Gavin had a very good opinion about the Black Diamond, right? Black Diamond goes away because there's not a lot of trims. At least we don't see them. What would you see the most of before we jump into the next part? What would you see the most trims, you think?
I always see Big Bends.
So we see Big Bends, Badlands, and Outer Banks.
Big Bend, Outer Banks, and then Badlands is third.
So we don't see a lot of bases.
No.
And we don't see a lot of Everglades.
The only base I've ever seen was in Tennessee when we rode in it. Yeah, that's the only base I've ever seen in real life.
There's a base, and the only reason I know this is the grill. There's a base in Chesapeake here, and they've added aftermarket badging on the side. It was hard to tell, and if you didn't geek out on the stuff like I do, you probably couldn't tell. But but you get into the inner workings, right? Different transfer case, different things like that. But anyway, Nick said, Ryan,
what if
keep your Bronco.
What if the Oats Bronco runs on oat oil? It's called the Oats.
What?
What if the Oats Bronco runs on oat oil?
Are you delirious? You need to go to sleep. You're tired. Yeah, and your headphones fell off and everything.
I'm very tired.
Yeah. Come on, man. Let's see. I think about selling mine. Hey, we're going to get into some pictures. Don't go anywhere right now. We're going to get some pictures. I just want to go through there. Mobile said, I'm thinking about selling mine. I just don't drive it anymore. Yeah, well, that's a shame. I'll tell you, Gavin and I have a year stacked up of traveling. We've been to, we always do drive it locally, but we went to Supercell. We just got back from Statesville, right? Mm-hmm. To from Firehouse Vintage, which we're going to show you some pictures of Broncos. Don't go anywhere. Let's see here. We have Wytheville, Virginia coming up. We have possibly, and I need to schedule this. I need to do more research on this, but possibly Maggie Valley. We have Carlisle, which we'll be there in what? So a week and a half is Wytheville. The very next week is Carlisle.
So
we have a few local shows.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, Wytheville's cool because trail driving. And yes,
and
Tim, if you're watching, I'm getting my Bronco dirty again. And we're going to run through the biggest mud hole that we can find, and Gavin's going to get out and film it. Let's see. Bronco 78 said, just seeing that they're making MGV standard on the base trim. Well, that would make sense. That would make sense. And think about this. I know you know materials, what it costs for material, but think about when they start to simplify the trims, right? So less inventory, less commodities, less moving parts. I do know that the way they're designed for it can handle the multiple products, the just-in-time manufacturing, things like that. But still, the less you have, it seems to me it would free up production like a little bit quicker. Wouldn't you think? If you didn't have so many options. Now, I'm not talking about trims. I mean individual options within those trims. However, each trim does have to be different. Otherwise, it would be all the same, just a different name. Let's see. Overlanding for fun. I just want Ford to come out with my Eddie Bauer edition. I don't know if they still have that licensing. Do you know?
What?
with Eddie Bauer.
What's that?
Remember our expedition was an Eddie Bauer expedition?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
What was that? We were still crashing our chairs together, by the way.
And tonight I'm in early.
There it is, Bronco 78.
What?
Come on, man.
What?
Levi edition.
Levi.
Getting interesting now. We could start to do some stuff. So King Ranch, maybe, right? You see a King Ranch coming out? I know it's a truck.
I know it's a truck farm vehicle.
Yeah. Mike Levine this week made a clarification on someone else's Twitter feed about trimmers for trucks and what's the Explorer
Timberland?
Huh?
Timberland's
SUV. Timberline SUV trimmer trucks. So it's sort of, they were saying there's a trimmer Bronco coming out or something like that, or trimmer, it could be a trimmer Ranger because it's a truck. Anyway, and it's a real truck. The Maverick, by the way.
I thought they had a truck.
It was a unibody, right?
Wait, no, that was an F-150.
Yeah. No, that's an F-150.
Destination F-150 Ranger or is it its own series?
No, Ranger's its own series. Okay. Used to be like Bronco 78 Adventures has the Bronco 78 Bronco Ranger, right?
So that's not its own series.
Right. No, the Ranger now it used to be a compact or a small truck, and the F series was full size. Now the Ranger sort of moved into some hybrid in between, a compact truck and a full size. It's gotten bigger, but not big enough to call it a full size. It's like a full size used to be, I guess. But it's pretty cool. Destination Bigfoot Bronco said, Gavin is such a genius old soul. He's an old soul. I will guarantee you that much. Thank you for saying that, by the way. Let's see. Ryan said, that's good to hear about the base getting MGV. That's good. That one went past me. I didn't see that. I'm not doubting you. I just didn't see the news. So
yeah, people at school offer me because I like a rock instead of their little wrap crap.
Gotcha. Yeah, and Overlanding for Fun said, I get what you're saying. Over 8 years, 200,000 miles, 60 plus Boy Scout campouts later. I watched my son grow up in the back of FJ. Yeah. So, as far as that comment was about the Bronco thing, right? The Area 51 Bronco is staying, and that's it. Oh, let's see. Mobile said, unless 95% of the Everglades are destroyed, they're still not rare. Push at least 10,000 of them. Look, Mobile, I understand where you're coming from. I'll disagree with you on it, though. I think it's out of the macro. Someone's going to drown one. Someone's going to roll it over. A few's going to be in an accident. Who knows what all is going to happen? If they come back out, I agree with you. It'll less value, but I think right now, especially the color, it'll be one day a rarer vehicle. Say that 100 times. Rarer
vehicle.
Just my opinion, and like I said, I could be wrong. I have been before.
That's funky to say.
Bronco 78 said, I see more big bins because dealers were getting those as dealer stop. Absolutely great point on that, by the way. Hey, we saw Bronco 78 Adventures in Statesville. We're getting ready to go through some pictures here.
Oh, yeah.
I want everyone to see that. And by the way, hit the like button for me. If you would, hit the thumbs up. And if you're watching and haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that bell icon. Gavin, I want you, before you go, let's go through. I want to finish getting the comments here, and I want to show some pictures here. Let's see. Bronco 78 said, found out that Maggie Valley event is bunched in with the Mustang and classic F100s. Well, that just sounds like a party. I'm in.
We should tow the black car with the truck and then have Mom drive the Bronco.
No, we need a car hauler so we can haul multiple vehicles. And that's on the radar.
Toy hauler, like a camper.
Not a toy. We need a car hauler.
We also need a toy hauler.
Ford Video Guy said, now that's putting MGV and rubberized floor on everything. Not much that makes the Black Diamond special. I agree with that. The Black Diamond is, if you've got one, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I I don't know, for me, there wasn't an appeal there because the Badlands being the most capable, also the stay bar disconnect and front rear lockers, and I know you can get. I do realize that you can get rock rails and everything on the Black Diamond. I'm not going to go in. I don't remember all the stuff that you can and can't get right off, but I could find that out pretty quickly. Let's see. Bronco 78 Ventures said, and it got replaced by Harley Davidson edition. Yeah, and they do these licensing things, and I hear that, Tim. I hear he was Timberline. Mobile said Timberline is a terrible name. I don't know if you could hear that, Mobile. Gavin said, no, it's not. Eddie Bauer could be fun to that point. I hear you. Ranger and Explorers were 70s and 80s trims, F-150s. There you go. So Mobile cleared that up. So see that right there? So the Ranger and the Explorer 70s and 80s trims on F-150s. Then they sort of separated it and created that other brand. Let's see. Ryan said, if I sell privately other than a bill of sale, verification of funds, and bank, what I need to watch out for. I mean, there again, not giving you advice, but that's really what I've been.
Cash.
Yeah, I've always been.
Or checks.
The way things are counterfeited now, I'll make people go directly to the bank and try to cut back on as much as that possible. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed my hat here. A special thanks to O'Reilly Auto Parts for always being there for us. The 66 GT is getting a lot of maintenance here lately, and O'Reilly's has been supplying me with that. I'm paying for it, but they've got it in stock is what I'm saying. And so they have the parts and pieces there. And so special thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts. We're glad to be buying from them. See, Mobile Motto said they really need to kill the Black Diamond and Big Ben. And I'm going to tell you, I agree with you on that 100%. I'm not knocking it if you have one. I'm just saying, I just think those are two trims that'll go away when they enter a couple more different trims. And the Heritage Limited, Gavin. Mm-hmm. Limited's in the name, right?
Yeah.
So that's going away after the first run, and then it'll be another trim to take its place, and that's what I think keeps the brand fresh. It keeps it going. Let's see.
I'm going.
Then Mobile said O'Reilly's doesn't seem to suck as much. I hear you. Love the comment there. All right. Well, look, Gavin, let's go through this. We're going to add something to the stream, everyone. So what do you think about this first gen Bronco? So this is a 1967 Bronco. I can't tell you how many owners, but I know one family owned it since 1969. Now, this Bronco was purchased by the great folks down at Firehouse Vintage Vehicles. This was a hunting rig. It has the gun racks in the back. It has it had the axe in the back, kind of special to it. There was a few other things that were there. It's a 289.
That giant bumper.
The giant bumper in the front with the winch. I think you could say it's a factory winch, but I believe they were dealer installed. Somebody could correct me on that. I know, Nick, you would probably know on that one. Love the OG Bronco script that's on this thing. It's pretty cool. So this first gen Bronco right here is an absolute it's a cream puff, I should say. Let's see here. Now let's add this one to the screen. Check this out. When you see Broncos like this, you really appreciate them. I remember, I'll tell you a story when it was a second gen, so it had to be 78 or 79. They were building some apartments down the street from where we were. And there was a guy named Malcolm. Malcolm drove a two-tone dark blue Bronco. And honestly, it could have been an 80. The more I think about it, it might have been the square front headlights. It may have been an 80. But this thing it was dark blue in the top and the bottom, a lighter blue in the middle with butterflies. It had butterflies down the side of this thing. It was the craziest paint job I've ever seen. And that dude was scary. And I'll never forget, two-tone blue Bronco, butterflies on the side. Malcolm would scare us to death. So, Malcolm, if you're still out there, my friend, thank you for the memories. Now, this Bronco here was probably one of, what do you say, Gavin? One of the straightest bodies on a Bronco ever?
Yeah.
You get ready to see it switch over here. Clean inside and out, straight body, looks good, sits right. Definitely see driving this thing, and I think it gets driven every day, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he said that this was the one he drives to work every day.
Yeah, it might be. Now, this was an odd picture I wanted to take. So this is a, you remember what year this was?
No.
This was an F-150 Highboy. And what's interesting, it's a Highboy, but someone must have taken out, there used to be, and I don't know if this will show it in there. Will the cursor show it? The stabilizer in the front was, at least on a 77 Highboy, was assisted through the power steering pump. So it was a hydraulic. So it actually had fluid going to it. I know my brother had one, and that stabilizer broke. He was off-roading and hit something just right, and it broke the shaft, and it was expensive to get a replacement. First of all, it was hard to get. This was back in, say, 1988 or 89 or 90. The truck at that point was a 77, so it wasn't, terribly old, but it was hard to get the part. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. But this is a 70s, late 70s Highboy that they're doing some modifications to. And by the way, where are we? We are at Firehouse Vintage Vehicles in Statesville, North Carolina. Now, Gavin, talk about this one. You remember the story on this one?
Hold on, I can't see right now.
Park Service? Get ready to see it?
Yeah, there was what, two made?
Two of these trucks made ever. They were delivered to the Park Service between Oregon, California, up, that
this
part of
one has
Western.
An Oregon license plate.
Yep, Oregon on this one. But this is how the truck came. There's future plans for it. One of the biggest things about Firehouse that they really preserve the patina on these, and they really do a good job of.
I didn't understand what is patina. Is it like the rust?
What you see on the hood, all of that faded paint, the rust. So a lot of people, what they'll do, Gavin, is they'll knock down the high places on the rust and they'll get it smooth. And then some people will spray a clear on there, but there's also patina protector, which is like a clear, and that gets applied on there and that keeps that look. But then mechanically you make it however you want to make it, whether you do a coyote swap, which I don't think I uploaded those pictures, but on Instagram you'll see that. You can do a coyote swap.
Oh, you did one of them. How do you go up?
Here, hold on a minute.
Hold on. Yeah.
No. Here, watch out, move. I'll go. What are you doing, man?
That one was the coyote.
This is a coyote. You can't see the engine though.
Yeah, you can. So you can see all the.
See if it shows up here on the monitor a little bit better.
Going.
See if it shows up. Well, we're waiting for it to pop up on the monitor. There we go.
See, you can see all the.
So if you look carefully, if you're watching on a phone, it's hard. But if you're watching on TV, you can look under the hood and you'll see the intake. Ford is coming out with an intake, by the way, for the Godzilla, which takes where the throttle body mounts and the air horn, I should say, the air intake points upward. They're coming out with one that goes straight across, and each game comes cold air. Are you out, Gavin?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me a hug, brother. I know you're tired.
Yeah, I'm really tired.
All right, see you, man. Everybody will say goodbye to Gavin before he goes. Let's see.
Everybody.
Here, Mobile, I'll get your comments in just a second. Gavin said goodbye. Are you going to do a review with me over at Wynn?
Mm-hmm.
Or Hall or wherever we go to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have a couple reviews coming up. It's going to be cool, technical, creature comforts, fun stuff, all mixed
Bronco
in.
said he had adventures, and Nick Kefton said at the exact same time, the exact same.
Night, Gavin.
Yeah, it came in the exact same time.
Yeah. Mobile, he's look, you see that? He just said man down, meaning you can't hang the night with me.
I'm just really tired. Man.
Gavin's a youngster. He's got to get going. All right, brother. Hey, this month. See ya. Good night, man. You want your headphones?
No.
All right, I got you. Bob Masters, Michael Cooper, Nick, Bronco 78 Mobile. Thank you all for saying that.
Bronco 78 Mobile.
There you go. All right, next picture here. This, I didn't put them in order, can you tell? Back to the first gen. So if you look at this, you see a little bit of missing paint. You see a scratch. They did a really good job of just cleaning up the tired paint job on there. You all right, man? He took something with him going that way. I don't know what it was. I don't want to know what it was. iPad. All right, so here's the back. So check this out. This was the, you see the racks on the side here. See them on the other side as well. Got the axe in the back, and you can see that bed's kind of worn. It's kind of beat up a little bit. This was on a ranch. This was a hunting rig, so it's pretty cool. I don't know if it kind of looks like a Thunderbird. Is that a Thunderbird floor mat? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Mobile, I'll tell him. I don't want to yell over the mic here. It might be a little loud on that. But yeah, Nick said I like that Bronco. Yeah, you and me both. This Bronco here was very sweet. All right, here, Nick, this one's for you. You ready? Drum roll. So this was another Bronco. This Bronco parked next to us, cruised in, backed in right beside us. We were in the back of the shop. There was parking all the way around. I have a picture of the front. There was, huh?
Tell me what?
Mobile said Binky.
Binky?
Yeah. Yeah, tool racks. You got it, Mobile. Tool racks. That's what it is. Tool racks. I got you. Tool racks. Overlanding for Fun said my favorite Gen 1 Bronco would be the freshest of the fresh barn finds. Yeah, and preferably one that you could do a little bit of maintenance to and make it roadworthy, I should say. But this Bronco here, this one is really nice. Driving, running and driving and, all the cool stuff. So it's pretty cool. All right, so there's the front. So you can tell this used to be an old firehouse, obviously, from the name. And there's an addition building on the back. But here's what I want to say about Firehouse Vintage from walking around the shop. I look for the organization, the tools, and how they bring vehicles in and out. Very well laid out facility, clean, great looking. I mean, really good projects, craftsmanship, right? Sometimes you see something in a picture, it looks great from a distance. And guess what? When you get up close to it, you can see all the imperfections. What they do is they bring vehicles back to this, I don't know. You can get one showroom or you can get one, keep the patina, keep the old stuff, make it roadworthy, repower it, put a Coyote in it. That's one of their specialties. Or excuse me, a Godzilla, really. It's just a really neat shop. Great stuff. So if you ever get a chance, check them out on Instagram. I guess they're on YouTube, but I know Instagram they're very popular on. And if you were at Super Celebration East and you remember a green, either two-tone green or green and silver, and a two-tone a red and white, they had two Godzilla swaps in those. And those things were awesome. So Bronco 78 said they had a great turnout. You were there. And you were a brave man. You drove your Bronco without the top on. So Nick said, where is that firehouse place located? It's in Statesville, North Carolina. You can look them up on Instagram. They had really cool stuff. This was the first year, right, that they've done this, and it was awesome. Justin was there. Justin in our chats. He was there. Who was a Bronco 78? There was someone else there that was in our chats for quite a bit. Sorry, I can't remember your name right now, but it's pretty fun. Here's the other one. Now I did this photo in black and white, And if you look at this, this is a second gen Bronco. Now, if you look at this, right, is this a restoration or is this a parts donor? I think I made this in a post the other day, and you say, well, it's not enough. You need to see the sides. You need to see on it. Fair enough. The body on it wasn't that rusted. The frame was intact. It didn't appear like it had ever been wrecked, at least what you could see. I don't know what's happened to the front. But it's something that brought up a point, is at what point do you not restore an old truck or an old Bronco? And I think it's one of those things where if it's just a vehicle that you want, what's the investment? Can you buy one that's already done cheaper, or do you get a really good deal on a barn find, like Tim said, and you restore it yourself and you go off and do your own thing? At some point, I think it's my black Mustang, the one right here. Okay. From the picture behind me, if you zoom in, you'll see it. This was because, this car and I had a history. So I was going to spend any amount of money to bring it back. But if it was just another 66 coupe, not even a GT or not, but if it was a coupe, I don't know if I would have spent that kind of money into it. So there has to be a story behind it, right? So anyway, that's just my idea. Do you want to do that or not? All right. We are going to get rid of this here. I'm going to try to do a share. Let's go ahead and share something. Let me close a few things out here. Wytheville, Virginia. So not this weekend, but the weekend after next, we'll be in Wytheville. We're going to the second annual Bronco Fest. I can't tell you exactly our schedule yet. We have to register for everything. We're doing that, I guess, tomorrow. But we will be camping somewhere in southwestern Virginia, tent camping the second night. So we're going to stay in a cabin or a hotel on the first night. The second night, at the end of that day, we're going to leave the Bronco Fest and we're going to find a campground, do some tent camping, weather permitting, and then go to Roanoke, see a friend on Sunday, and then head home. So weekends planned. If you're going to be anywhere around southwestern part of Virginia, Wytheville Bronco Fest, second annual, please join us. All right, let me try to share the screen here and see what happens. All righty. Hopefully there's no music on this thing. I'm probably in enough trouble tonight already. So Southwest Virginia Bronco Fest. If you look at some of the rides here, you think about, I guess this is one of the roads here. Not going to go through all of it. Old Trestle Bridge. Looks like you've got some, long gravel roads. I don't know what the terrain's like, if it's just gravel road or if it goes. Great looking views, by the way. Yep. So up in the mountains there. Shot Tower Historical State Park. Never heard of that. So it's going to be fun. And looks like a winery maybe. So it's just going to be cool. So they have the Bronco Fest swap meet. Go there and find you some, we can tell here, you can get anywhere from models to vehicle parts, actual parts and stuff like that. And let's see, it's the second annual Bronco Fest headed your way. So even more street cruises, dirt road cruises, and wow, amazing views, food vendors, and of course, Broncos of all ages. So this is going to be fun. If you're in the area, please stop by and say hello. Now check this one out. Tim over at Overlanding for Fun. If we look here, he's at 906 subscribers. So do me a huge favor if you can. Let's try to hurry up and get Tim over that 1,000 mark. So if you haven't subscribed to Overlanding for Fun, and that's Overlanding, the number 4 Fun, head on over, hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can change that 906 and get it going up there. It'd be awesome. You're watching live, watching on replay. Either way, go check it out. Great content. You see, if there's a lot of ham radio stuff, there's Bronco tech, a lot of technical stuff, by the way. Pretty cool, like drone shots and things of Supercell. 67 design Broncos, for example, putting this rail together, right, for accessories and stuff like that. Let's see, let's go through I know the 5-tire rotation video was popular. It really kind of broke down how you can do it without a lift, kind of take care of it. Let's see, parks on the air. This is where the ham radio stuff comes in. Talking to people from, one park to another part of the world is pretty amazing. Yeah, the cell phone network is down, so I don't know what's going on with that. All kinds of stickers on the back of the Bronco, by the way. Yeah, and also there was a Come On Ford video talking about the trail map. So I guess, it's a work in progress. But anyway, if you want to see that, go check it out. So pretty cool. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. But there you go. Go over and say hello to Tim at Overlanding for Fun. All right, let's go back through the comments here. I'm going to go back from the bottom, so they're going to be out of order. I referred to someone overlanding for fun earlier for his trail. Yeah. I saw that. That was over on the Nation thing. Bring warm clothes this time. Just in case. You never know. Like I said, it's kind of cool here in Eastern Virginia. Today was in the 60s. That's not cool. But what I'm saying is compared to most May 16th, 17th, 18th, for our area, it's considered cool because normally we were roasting right about now. So you never know. So I always will go prepared. I will always take more than I think I need from now on. I'll never go what I think I need. I'll go for what could happen, right? Let's see. Nick said, any covered bridges and how many are over there? So we have covered bridges here. Depends on what part of the state that you're in. I don't know about this event. I will know because when we go, we're going to do we're going to do as many drives as we can. That's why we're going. We're going to go, do that kind of stuff. Let's see. Nick said, I had my 1967 Mustang, 36 years. My first car. I've had it ever since high school. Would never sell it. Great. Yeah. I will never sell this car again. I did once and I made a mistake. But anyway, let's see. It looks like, Overlanding for Fun said, I think it was going back to that picture there. Looks like a 78 Bronco Ranger XLT to me. Put it on a shortened Super Duty frame. Pretty cool. So yeah, we had a great time. And I think I have another one here I want to share. Ford Ranger. We're going to hit on that a little bit, and then I've got about 10 minutes. We'll be out of here at 10 o'clock. Hang in there with me. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching live or on replay, it would be absolutely awesome if you could do that for me. Let's go back to this comment here. I think I dropped that out. So Ford Ranger, what do you think? And I would love to know your comments here. Do you think the popularity of the next Ford Ranger, the 2024, I guess it's the 6th gen? What is it? 6th gen Ranger, 7th gen Mustang? I don't know what it is. Anyway, the 2024 Ford Ranger, is it going to really affect or hurt Bronco production because they're built at the same plant? You have MAP, whether they're running at full force or not, if part of the plant's down, getting ready for the 24. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors that they're not up to 100%. So when they get to 100% and everything is working, how many vehicles can they build in a day? Do they rotate? Or is it just sort of a mix like it has been for the most part? Now, Ranger numbers are down dramatically. Roughly last month, 10,000 Broncos, roughly, not exact, but 10,000 Broncos built versus 3,600 Rangers. So you can see the discrepancy there. Now, part of that is because less being sold, but they are behind on production, which means that it wasn't because they didn't have any sold. It's because they just couldn't get to them or for whatever reason. So I want to know, do you think that the new Ranger, if it's really a big seller, is it going to affect anything? And will that dictate how many trims that the Bronco has? Or with offering multiple trims and lower production numbers, that obviously keeps prices, maybe elevated for a while. And that's going to be, the market's going to be a long time before it's saturated. I don't think it'll ever be saturated, but let's just say there's still the new factor. It's still the new kid on the block. It's still the cool thing. The favorite thing is still what you want, right? So I would just love to know your opinion on that, what you really think. Let's see. How many Rangers were built for 22? That's a good question. I didn't look that number up. I can definitely find that out, though. Definitely find out. I think one of them will suffer, especially with all the trims. Bronco 78 Venture said, yeah. And I really, I really believe that it'll affect the number. Now, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I don't know the plant. I don't know what is not up to speed and working. I do know that if you look at the Ranger, right? We saw the videos last week, of everybody going up to see them in person, which is cool. But they've been in other parts of the country, especially a lot of videos out of Australia, especially the Bronco Raptor, the Ranger Raptor. There was a video down there where someone in a pre-delivery inspection flipped a customer's over, which was a sad thing to see. But there's been extensive testing, crawling, jumping, you name it, of these Ranger Raptors down there. So I believe, based on other parts of the world and other countries, it's been a popular seller. Now, let's just not say Raptor. XLT is going to be that hot work truck to go with. XLT is going to be that great truck. You can modify it, entry level. The price is definitely affordable. A Lariat's going to be more of that vehicle that you're not going to hot rod necessarily. You're not going to off-road it. It's going to be a good street vehicle. It's got a lot of creature comforts, a lot of good stuff. And the Raptor is going to be whatever it is. Some of them are going to end up on a construction site, and others will end up in the woods on the weekend. And I would imagine daily driver, work vehicle, and a weekend getaway vehicle. So I think the Ranger Raptor is definitely going to be now popular. How many do they build? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. I'm sure there's rumors on that as well. And by the way, it's not exactly, the suspension's a little bit different than the Bronco Raptor. Same engine, different tuning, transmission 10R60. It does have a different linkage in the back as far as the differentials, the Watts linkage. If you've ever seen that, there's a video that on Ford's website that shows the diff going up and down, and it really shows how that Watts linkage works, and it keeps the differential going straight up and down and not pivoting, right, with all the movement of suspension parts. I think Ford really did their homework. They've had over a year to really use it in other parts of the country or other parts of the world, and now that they've brought it here, even first videos aren't going to be a total shocker unless you're driving it. I think the videos of seeing the first drive is going to be something that you can see if you go check out some of our friends down under and their videos. So if you want to see some first drive videos, are already out there. They're not the American versions. I get it, but it's definitely going to be close. But I think the Ranger is definitely going to be that added vehicle to the trails on the weekend, to the campsite, the overlanding, and the hardware store. So good job, Ford, on bringing that. If you definitely want someone else to a little bit different to review it, I'm all in, because that is a vehicle that I think we can go from top to bottom and really get into the details on that as well. Nick, good night. It looks like you're out of here. See you. Have a good night. I appreciate you tuning in once again. Yeah, we have low battery too. I've got to go. I've got 4% battery. And it's 9:56. So let's see, does the clock run out first or the battery? Drum roll, please. Anyway, move that chair around here. Let's see, what else did we want to do? Yeah, I was going to do another video here. Let's see. Hey, did anyone see my Mustang video we uploaded last weekend? I don't know if we've seen that or not. Here, let's head back over to Overlanding for Fun. Come on, man. We need some more subscribers over there. I need to freshen up the page, but we need some more subscribers over there. Uh-oh, what happened? I disappeared myself. Let's get rid of the banners here. Hey, do you guys mind the banners going across the bottom or not? I don't know. Yeah, we have all kinds of banners. There's my name. That's another website. Yep, that's another one. By the way, Driven. If you go to drivenwildgear.com, you can pick up a copy of my book. And by Friday, our new stickers, I say new, we just had these. So we had the two versions. This one, really nice sticker. You put it on there and you had to peel the top off. This one, ready to go. Put it on there. You're good to go. These will be available on the website this Friday. So if you want to help the channel out, we would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And do a little, get a little branding on there as well. All right, 3% battery and 2 minutes to go. Man, this is getting scary. Let's see what we got on the comments here. Yeah, I think the comments trying to freeze up here a little bit. Destination Bigfoot Bronco. Thank you very much. Definitely buy one. So drivenwildgear.com. If you go Friday, you'll see these. They're going to come in an envelope. There's really no shipping on these at all. This one is a little bit of shipping cost. Driven. And that book, so I'm actually writing another book called Build It Twice. This is a memoir. Build It Twice is sort of it's a business blueprint kind of a book. It's pretty cool. So looking forward to that as well. So thank you. I don't even pay attention. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know what that comment was about there. So Bronco 78 Adventure said, curious on the comparison for Bronco and Ranger in 22 when the Ranger wasn't the next big thing. I think what happens is that when you're near the end of a duty cycle, you're probably not marketing as much. So the general public is not hearing about it or seeing about it. The outgoing trim, I'm getting ready to do a review on a outgoing trim of a vehicle. That's going to be cool. I think it has a lot to offer. It's a good question as far as numbers. And maybe I'll try to put a video together and we'll talk about those numbers and kind of break it down. That's a good point. Thanks for adding that. All right. It's 10 o'clock and 3% battery. So guess what? The battery won. We're out of time and we'll go from there. So look, everyone, I appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you. We didn't have a competing unscheduled stream tonight. Bronco Nation does their thing from 8 to 9 and there are good folks over there. Go check them out. I think it's every other week or something like that. But yeah, check them out whenever you can. And I think that's it for tonight. Hopefully Tim will be back here soon. We'll have some stuff to talk about. You get a chance, go to Overlanding for Fun, whether you're watching right now live or you're watching on replay, and hit that subscribe button over there. Watch some of the really cool tech videos, some trail map videos pretty well. So if you have that trail map app and you're having some issues with it, go check out his video and that might clear up some answers or at least seeing what other people have. But hey, I'm out. Any last comments? We have got to roll. We're at 2% battery and we don't want to go out completely. All righty, everyone. Hey, look, I'm done. See ya. Mustang content starting to roll pretty hot and heavy coming up this week. A lot of good stuff, latest details. And of course, I'm going to geek out on the engine. The Gen 4 Coyote is more than just another generation. There's a lot of improvements, some pretty cool stuff. Dual throttle bodies, you've heard about that. How do they work? That's cool. That's the news there. That's a cool thing. Anyway, I'm out. See ya. Appreciate it. Bye.